So let's do some more examples, some real simple examples doing the FOIL method backwards, so factoring. So let's say I've got, and this is kind of a classic that every single teacher likes to use. Let's do this one. X squared plus 5x plus 6. We see it still has our pattern. There's something squared plus that same something in the middle, and then a constant out the end. Okay? So we're going to set up our parentheses so they're ready to go. Alright, start here. The only way to get an x is an x and an x. An x squared is with an x and an x. So x, x. Alright. For this to be positive, that means they either have to both be positive or they both have to be negative. But since the number in the middle is positive, that means we're going to go with two positives. Positive, positive. Now there are two ways to get a 6. We can do a 1 and a 6, or a 2 and a 3. Now, if I add these up, I'm going to get 7. So if I go 1 and 6, and my outer plus my inner is going to be 7x. So that's wrong. And I'm erasing because you can see what I'm doing. You can redo the video, but whenever you're doing this for yourself, it's okay to list the bad options and cross them out and say, you know, this is bad. Don't feel like you have to erase it, because then you might accidentally retry them, and then it's just annoying. So the 1 and the 6 didn't work. So let's try the 2 and the 3. So if we do the 2 and the 3, 3x plus 2x, and that gives me 5x, which is exactly what I want. Okay. Alright, so let's try another one. Let's do x squared minus 5x plus 6. Now if you're playing along at home, I strongly recommend you actually pause the video and go try to do this on your own, because it's going to make sense when I'm doing it, but when you try to do it on your own, sometimes you're like, wait, what does she mean? So if you're trying to think through it ahead of time, then watch it and see if it makes more sense that way. So if you're struggling with this, pause this and then go try to do this one on your own, and then if you can't get it, or you can get it, come back and check and see if you're right. I'm just going to go ahead and recognize that x squared goes into x and x, just like always. It's not always going to be this easy, I'm just easing into it. And when I say easy, please know that that's in quotes. Easy as in compared to nuclear fission. So please don't get upset if I call something easy. It's not for realsies easy. So this can be positive and positive, or negative and negative. Again, recognizing that this is negative means I need to use the two negatives. So minus, minus. Now my options for 6 are a 1 and a 6, or a 2 and a 3. And based on the experience I just had, I'm pretty sure I'm going to stick the 2 and the 3 in here, but I'll check to be sure. Outer, inner, and that works to be exactly what I want. Good? Okay, now here's where math teachers like to just go nuts. That. So it looks pretty much like this one, and pretty much like this one, except I'm moving the plus minuses around. And we just like to use this one a lot in general. Okay, so go ahead and prep your work area and start thinking about what you're going to do. Only way to get an x is an x and an x. X squared is an x and an x. It's just fun to say. Chunk, chunk. And the negative, the only way to get a negative is with a plus and a minus. And since currently these are the same, it doesn't really matter where I put the plus or where I put the minus, because they're kind of symmetric. Okay. So I have to think about, well, how can I get a 6? I can do 1 and a 6, or I can do a 2 and a 3. Okay, so let's try 2 and a 3, because that's what worked last time. Okay, so now my outer, and then my inner, and I go, yuck, that's not right. See, it's not even the right number, let alone the right sign, so that probably means that 2 and 3 just ain't gonna work. In general, fundamentally wrong. So we're going to erase this and try it again. So let's try a 1 and a 6. So my outer is minus 5x, my inner is x. Wait, I can't multiply. Thought that looked weird. Like that. So I have the right number, it's just the wrong sign. So that means that I can switch this. Instead of being plus and minus, I'll make it a minus and a plus. So instead of a plus and minus, I'll make it a minus and a plus. And now, hopefully, if I multiply it out, it should work. Outer, inner, 5x, and that worked. And just to round it out, let's do the one other that's related to this, which is x squared minus 5x minus 6. So again, pause the video, go try to solve it on your own, see if it makes sense, and then come back and watch the video and go, oh, that's not what you did. Or not, whatever. So come over here, x times x. Now, since this is a minus, that means we have to have a plus and a minus. Since this is a 6, it has to be a 1 and a 6, or a 2 and a 3. So try in 1 and a 6, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be right because it's pretty close to the problem I just solved. And that's right. So I already know, remember, I know that the first is right because I designed it that way. And I know that the last is right, so I designed it that way because I designed it that way. So the only real thing that you have to worry about is making sure the outer and the inner lines up the way it's supposed to.